This is a simple bubu dress. I'm going to be cutting the front and back together, and I'm using the damask fabric. So I've already folded my fabric. This is the front. The front has slit. Okay, you can see that's why I have this extension, and this is the back. The back is completely closed. So I'm going to be explaining what I am doing here. So to fold your fabric, the width that you're going to need to fold your fabric is your shoulder plus your sleeve length. So if your shoulder is 18, for example, divided by 2 is going to be 9. Then you're going to add whatever sleeve length you want to use. So if you want your sleeve length to be 10 inches, then you add 10 to 9 and you have 19. If you want it to be if you want it to be 12 inches, you have 12 to 9. I hope you understand. So you measure your shoulder together with your sleeve length. So once you have your sleeve length, you're going to include the allowance that you're going to use to hem the sleeve. So if you want to hem with 1 inch, you include that. If you want to hem with 2 inches, you include that. I hope you understand. So what you need to fold your fabric is your shoulder measurement plus your sleeve plus hemming allowance for your sleeve. Okay, so that is for the back. For the front, when you are folding, make sure that you need extra allowance for the front, for the slit that we are going to have in front. Mine is 2 inches. Yours does not have to be 2 inches. You can leave just 1 inch if you don't have enough fabric. So this is my front. You can see that I have 2 inches allowance all the way to the hem, and then this is the back. So to fold your fabric, this is how I was able to fold the front and back together. So you are going to fold into 2 first, like this. You can see this is folded into 2. You fold into 2, then you fold into 4. So when you want to fold into 4, you will not fold completely like this. You will leave 2 inches allowance. So that way you have 2 pieces for the back and 2 pieces for the front together with the allowance. So that is what I have done here. So now let's start cutting. So the measurement I have here is my shoulder plus my sleeve plus my allowance. So I have about 21.5 inches. So that is what I'm working with for mine. My shoulder is 9. That is my shoulder is 18 divided by 2, that is 9. So I have 9 inches here. For the sleeve, I don't want it too long, so I'm going to be working with around 10 to 11 inches. So I left it at 10.5, and then I'm adding 2 inches extra for my sleeve, for hemming my sleeve. So the length is going to be the total length of your bubu, which in this case is the full length of this damask, and that is 60 inches. So for the neckline, I'm going to mark. You start taking your measurement from here, not from this allowance, not from the allowance part. You take it from this folded point. So for that, I'm going to mark 3 inches for my width. Okay, and then for the depth for the back, I'm going to be working with 1.5 inch. And then for the front, I'm going to be working with 5 inches. Please, I'm sorry about the chalk. I don't have another color of chalk. So once you have it, you're going to take your ruler and then you connect. Okay, so I'm going to use this, but I will just use it faintly so that it doesn't stain the clothes. But just watch what I'm doing. I marked 3 inches here, and then for the depth of the back, I'm working with 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and connect. Not even showing well. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it like this. So this is the neckline I'm working with for the back. For the front, I'm working with a neck depth of 5 inches, and then it's still going to have like a V neckline. Okay, so I'm just marking the 5 inches here so that when I take out the back, I'm going to see it. So now for the shoulder slope, I'm going to come to the end point here and then mark 2.5 inches for my shoulder slope. Okay, I'll mark 2.5 inches for my shoulder slope, and then I'm going to take my ruler and connect from that 2.5 inches all the way to my neck width. So I'll place my ruler like this and then connect. Please, I'm so sorry about the chalk. Just watch what I am doing. Okay, so this is for my shoulder slope. Can you see that? That's my shoulder slope. So once you have your shoulder slope, the next measurement you will need to take is your sleeve opening. Okay, how open do you want your sleeve to be? It's not so opened like that, but it's not going to be so tight as well. Can you see? So you just, for me, I'm just going to measure maybe 10 inches, 10 to 12 inches for my sleeve opening. So let's say I'm marking 12 inches because I'm still going to sew both ways, so I'll be left with around 11 inches. So 12 inches is fine for me. I'm marking 12 inches here, and then I'm going to come in by 2 inches. Remember that I left 2 inches for my hemming allowance. So whatever it is that you left for your hemming allowance, that's what you're going to come in with, or this part. So I came in by 2 inches for my hemming allowance. So to shape it, the hem of the dress is kind of pencil because it's going to have slit for the person to walk. So if yours is not going to be having a slit, please make it as wide as necessary so that they can walk freely. But we're going to have a slit on this. So to create that pencil effect, I'm going to measure from the shoulder to a little bit above the knee. So the knee I'm working with is around 40 inches, so I'm just going to mark maybe 36 here. And on that 36 inches, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement. So the hip measurement. The hip I'm working with is 46. 46 divided by 4 is 12. So I have 46 divided by 4 is 11 and a half. Sorry. So I have 11 and a half inches here. And then you are going to add allowance for ease. So it's up to you and how penciled you want yours to be. So for me, I'm just going to add extra 4 inches to that, and that 4 inches is including seam allowance. Okay, so altogether I have 15 and a half. So that 15 and a half, I'm going to measure it all the way to the hem. This is what is going to give me the pencil effect that I want. I'm also going to mark 15 and a half inches here, and then I'm going to grab my ruler and connect everything together. Okay, so that is the pencil effect. So once that is done, the next thing is just for you to connect from your sleeve opening here to this part where the pencil stops. So let me see if this is going to show. So from here, I'm just using my free hand to connect it. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'm connecting them together like this. Can you see? So this is it. No, there's no color really showing on this thing, so please just make do with what we have. So when I'm cutting it, you watch what I'm doing so that you can get it. So now I'm going to grab my scissors, and then I'm going to cut what we have. So I'll start cutting from the hem, which is this. I'm going to cut, and because the front and back is folded together, I'm cutting them together. So I'm cutting on the hem. So this is where the pencil effect starts. So from there, you follow the shape that we did to meet up with the sleeve opening. Okay, so now we are here. I'm just going to cut into the sleeve opening like this. So can you see the shape that we have for this side? So I believe you understand this better. So from here, the 36 inches here, I measured my hip plus extra allowance. Between 3 to 5 inches is okay for the pencil effect. And the same measurement I have here, I measured this on the hem, and then I made a straight line. After making the straight line, remember that here we came down by 2.5 inches, and then we measured our sleeve opening and then came in for the hemming. So from where the hemming stopped, I just use my free hand to connect to where the pencil is going to start. So that is the shape that you have here. So for this part now, I'm going to go ahead and cut my neckline for the back. So this is my back neckline. Then after cutting the neckline for the back, I'm going to cut the shoulder slope. So I'm cutting the shoulder slope now. It's a bit thick, so I'm just So I'm cutting the shoulder slope, and then you're going to open up the sleeve. It unfolds, so it is close together. So here I'm just going to come here and then open, slash my sleeve open. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is the back and this is the front. So for the front neckline, what I'm going to do now is to just open the back a little bit like this, and then take my ruler to connect my front neckline. The chalks are not showing on the fabric, so I don't know, so just watch what I'm doing. So this is the neckline for the front. I'm going to grab my scissors now, and then I'm going to cut that out as well. Okay, so for the front again, it's going to have like a V shape. Okay, so you can do that after joining this overlap so that you don't get confused, or you can just fold in your overlap allowance like this, and then you create the V shape. But you can also do your V shape after joining the overlap, especially if you're a beginner, so that you don't mess it up. So for the overlap, I'm going to come down by between 3 to 5 inches, and then here on the neckline I'm going to come in by half an inch or quarter of an inch, and then I'm going to use my ruler to connect it. So to make this easier, I'm just going to join this center first and then bring it back for us to shape the V in front. I'll take this to the sewing machine now, and then you can see I have marked out my 2 inches allowance. I'm going to run a stitch from the neckline all the way to where my slit is going to start. So you can measure that on your client, or you can just stop where you did your shaping, where you start shaping your pencil. So it's up to you. You can also do that on your knee leg, depending on how comfortable the person is. So I'll go to join from there to this point, then bring it back. Okay, so I have gone ahead to sew it. You can see they are joined together now, and this is what the center front looks like. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to create the V shape that I want for the front. So like I said, I'm going to come down by 4 inches, and then I'm just going to connect it to the neckline. So you can measure like half an inch on the neckline and then connect this to it. So once you do that, you can now cut a little bit into your allowance on that point, and then you cut out your new V shape as well. So when you open it up, this is what the neckline looks like now. You can see that. So now you're going to take this to your ironing table, and then you open your seam. Okay, you iron this seam open, and then you can fold it in like this on both sides, so that all this rough edge is not going to show again. So you're going to do this all the way to your hem. Remember, the seam stops here. All this part is going to be for the slit, this open part. So you're going to iron that part as well. So you can either sew this down, or you use your hemming gum to hold it. So whichever one you choose to work with is fine. So after doing that, we're going to cut facing for both the front and back neckline. This is the back, so we're going to cut facing, but it's very simple to sew. We're going to sew the neckline with facing, join the shoulder, and then hem the sleeve, and then you sew it. So that is all we need to do. Okay, so you can see I have cut facing for it. Facing is just like a small lining, and then I use that to turn the neckline. So you will notch it and turn it to the wrong side. So this is for the front, and I did the same thing for the back. For the back as well, I cut out a small facing, and then I used it to turn the neckline. So what you need to do now is to take this to your ironing table, then you iron it well. After ironing it, you're going to place the front and back on each other, right side facing right side, and then you're going to sew the neckline. So to sew the neckline, your small facing, you're going to use it to turn. Can you see? So you take the lining, the main fabric together, and then the facing together, and then you flip the facing like this, so that you can sew it. That way you'll be able to turn the rough edge a little bit so that it's not going to be poking out from your neckline. So I'm going to do this for the two sides. You will hem the sleeve and then join the side. But before we do that, this dress have an inner belt. Okay, so to create your inner belt, you're going to cut a little piece of your cloth long enough to tie around your waist, and then you're going to measure where it's going to be placed. So for me, I want to place it a little above my waist because this is for a big person with tummy. So if you place it on the waist exactly, it may produce a little bit. So the half length for this person is 18, so I'm going to be placing it on maybe 16 to 17 inches. So I can place it on 16 and a half. So I have 16 and a half inches here, and then the next measurement you're going to take is the waist of the person. So the round waist is 36. 36 divided by 4 is going to give me 9 inches. So here I'm going to mark 9 inches for the front, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So that is the point where the belt is going to be placed. So here I'm going to mark 16 and a half as well, and then I'm going to mark where I have 9 inches. So those are the 2 points I'm going to be placing my belt, here and here. So I'll create the belt now and then sew it to it. Then I'll, because I don't want this too long, so I'll just sew the belt. So assuming this is your belt, you just sew it like this and like this so that you'll be able to tie it around your waist. Then we'll turn the shoulder and sew the side. See, we're almost done with it. I have ironed down this part with my hemming drum. You can see there's no seam, but if you don't mind, you can also sew on it and just pack it just in case the hemming drum wear off. So this is what it looks like. This is the neckline. I also ironed down the facing with my hemming drum so that it's not going to be so pulling out. So this is what the back looks like now. I've ironed the facing as well. So this is the matte fabric, like it's okay, so it trails a lot. I'm going to take this shoulder part to my weaving machine and use it so that I can knit. I'll do the same thing to the side. I'm going to weave it. Then when I'm done weaving, I'm going to go ahead and hem the sleeve with the 2 inches allowance that I left. So I'll simply fold it with 1 inch and then fold the other 1 inch. You can hold that down with your hemming drum so you sew it. I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is the belt. Just like the marked it, I came down by 16 and a half, and then I marked 9 inches from here, and then I fixed my belt here. So this is the second belt. So when you wear it, just tie it behind your back, inside, so that it can give you the snap effect. So I'm going to move this, hem it, and then I'm going to take it to the mannequin so that you can see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like on the round side. You can see that it's finished, and then this is what it looks like on the right side. So when you are going to do all of that, you take it to your iron, and then the iron is well. So this is the stitch that we have in front. You can see how neat our stitch looks. So make sure that whatever it is you are doing, make it as neat as possible. So I'll go ahead and aim it now, then take it to the mannequin so that we can see what this looks like.